birdie to me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Disc Golf Podcast, Talk Birdie to Me, a podcast where we highlight everything women's disc golf. This podcast is produced in collaboration with PDGA Europe Women and in their tireless work to support and grow women's disc golf. In this episode, we are going to talk about, of course, the European Championship, and we also have a guest coming to the podcast later. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about the new rules, about the news about WADA. I think it feels
WADA.
wrong. It feels better in Swedish somehow to say that word.
Yeah.
And I, who is talking to you, my name is Ida, and with me, as usual, I have Jolene. Hello, Jolene.
Hey, I'm Jolene. But why would I want to say my name in English? My name is Jolene. Hi.
It is Jolene.
Jolene.
In the very Swedish version of Jolene.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
How
we're
are
back
you?
with pod. Hi. How am I? I'm good, thanks. The summer has really hit Sweden. Feels like maybe this week or past week. And it's just great. I want to be out, play disc golf, watch disc golf, everything disc golf. So, yeah. It's fun.
It's almost today is almost too hot outside.
Yeah, and it's gonna be even hotter tomorrow. So this is just a warm up. How are you, Ida?
I'm good. I have played a little bit of disc golf with you this weekend.
Yeah, with
and
me.
Yes, but I also injured my hand, but my the bad hand.
The bad hand.
My left hand, so my non-dominant hand, which is great, but it just means that every time I'm outdoors, my hand gets dirty, and yeah, I'm not supposed to get my hand dirty because, yeah.
No, but you can't help yourself. I mean, you're renovating a house and you're out all the time, so you just need to find some way to glue that hand to your back and do nothing.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. So, should we get into it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's start with you introduced this podcast in collaboration with PDGA Europe. So let's start with the PDGA Europe. We have some new board members being elected in this year.
Yes, so there are 3 positions that are open, and there are 5 candidates for these positions. And instead of us telling you about all these excellent candidates, we have all this great information already available, both at PGA Europe's website and also in all their social media. Calixto from PGA Europe has done interviews with all the candidates. You can also inform yourself by reading. There's questionnaires about what their goal is with being on the board and kind of their vision for European disc golf.
And the experience that they bring into the board if they're elected, and also what they do in disc golf, if they're playing, how long, and if they're competing or volunteering, or it's a lot of good information on every candidate. So go there, inform yourself. Sounds so attitudey.
No, but it's really important. These are the people that are going to make a lot of decisions that decide what direction disc golf in Europe is taking. And I think it's important for all of us to ask ourselves where we want to go and kind of what type of, what different perspectives are important on the board of directors. And so utilize your power that you have as a PDGA member. If you're not a member, you should become one. That is the best way to influence disc golf. And make sure to vote, because usually the voter percentage, the frequency of PGA members that vote is pretty low. and we really would like it to be higher.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're new to disc golf and you get a membership with the PGA, it's usually to be able to compete at certain tournaments. So if you're new and you listen to this pod, we're here to inform you that you can also be a part of developing disc golf in this way. So go there and make your choices.
Yes.
And vote. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to vote. But first, I've read some information, but I prefer to watch the videos of Calixto interviewing them. So I'm going to watch the videos and then make my choices.
Yeah, I mean, I could also mention that it's also time. It's a similar election for PDGA, like the World Board of Directors. So there's 2 elections that you can read about and vote later this year.
Yeah. And we have something else new from the PDGA, World's United States. we have some rules proposals for 2026.
Yes. So, I mean, these became official a while ago, but we have there's just been so many other things going on that we really haven't had time to bring them up.
Yeah, and there's a lot. So there's a lot to read. But what stood out to you? What have you been,
I think the new time regulations are the ones that are probably the most interesting, and is that they are going to change the 30-second rule.
Yeah.
So that you can take more. If you're if you throw from the tee or the green, you still only have 30 seconds. But if you throw from the fairway, you instead have 45 seconds to throw. And this is then going to compensate, for example, if you're in the rough, or if you, I don't know, you just have a different lie. And I think it makes sense in a way, because like the thinking is that from the tee and from the green, these are throws that you always practice, and you should be able to do them fairly quickly because you can practice them. But then,
and this also brought to the drop zone, and it's the same from there.
Oh yeah,
if a hole has a drop zone, you practice from the drop zone. Yeah, continue.
But then from the fairway, you don't always end up in the same lie, and so I mean, it just makes sense that you get a little bit more time throwing from the fairway.
Yeah. And there's something else to that as well. I mean, you have 45 seconds, and is it 2 times per round? You can ask for extra 45 seconds. Let's say you're in the rough and you need to get more discs, or it's a really important shot. You're going for the win. I don't know, something. But 2 times during one round, you can ask the group for 45 extra. But is that called before or after the throw, or the extra 45?
Yeah, that's a good question. If I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I understood if that time is something you have to announce before, or if it's something that the group will let you know after, that, hey, now just so you know, you did use excessive time, so now you used like one of your excessive times.
Yeah, I think because I heard someone talk about this, could be the upshot. And I think the thought about, the intention with this is that you shouldn't have to call it, because if you're there and you're preparing yourself, you're so focused, and just now I'm going to take the time, now I'm going to call it, that maybe the group says it after, or you say it after. So it's better apply to this state of flow when you play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, well, I think it's a good change. I mean, I think there's been a lot of talk on the pro level about the use of time, and I think it just makes sense to increase this and kind of meet the reality rather than having a 30-second rule that people don't really follow.
Yeah. And I think now it's sort of a way to make fun of something, oh, they're taking excessive time, or it's such what do you call it, debate in disc golf right now. You think about it all the time, especially watching coverage or even being on the course, especially then, of course. But I think about us amateurs as well. We think about time. So I think it's good that the rules follow the sport and develop and works better for the game. So it will be interesting to see how this applies next season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like too that they have added clarification of when the time begins.
Yeah.
So just a list of a lot of things, but also actions that where it says that like it starts with this, but it's not only this, like it's not limited to this list, but it can be other things too. But I think it's good to clarify, like, what does it actually mean that your time starts?
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to do?
Yeah. And I like that they have specified the rules about the flight or position of a disc, if it lands over B or if it crossed the Mando, when the group have to vote to, we always talk about the benefit of the doubt, or is it what do you say in English? Is it that it's the benefit to the player? Yeah. But now they want to get rid of that saying. So it's something else, but I'm looking through this long line of new rules. But the point is that everyone, the card, there, let's say 4 people on the card, and the one that has thrown the disc is not there to vote for the first. Let's say it's OB. Okay, it's OB, and the 3 other players will make their vote. And if it's a tie, then the player that has thrown will also be able to vote to break the tie. So it seems like the player that has been throwing the disc will not have such a big influence on the decision. And I think that could be a good thing, because sometimes, if the player is in one of these critical moments, or, just everyone should have the same, compete under the same, what do you say? Compete under the same rules. That's not what I want to say, but yeah. So if the player is not there to say, I think this happened and I think this happened, it's easier for the group to be more fair, I think. If it's out or if it's in, or if it's crossed the Mando, if it didn't, So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's great that everyone is forced to vote.
Yeah.
Because that's also a point, is that you have to make a decision. You can't just be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of new rules.
Yeah, a lot of new suggestions and just small clarifications and that they made. I mean, I think they also specified some rules around doubles that I think are worth reading. I'm not going to go through everything that they have stated, but I think as team play and doubles play hopefully will become more frequent and a more maybe serious part of the game. I think it's great that the PGA is recognizing that and also putting some more attention on those rules.
Yeah. And I have another rule I want to point out. It's the provisional throw has also been clarified. I'm not sure that many things have changed with it, but it's just more clear.
It's to avoid the cheating.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just say provisional at any time. Like there has to be a legitimate reason to saying provisional.
Yeah. And there's also clarifications, around the you can remove stuff in your lie. That rule was taken out and back in, and now there's been clarifications. So go in, read, educate yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we should note that these are still suggestions. You can, if you do not agree with these rules, you can, I don't know if I should see, I don't know if there's a form or like you reach out to the PGA and you can, because I know there's a comment period when you can, oh, actually it's closed. So now, then we'll take that back. So the comment period closed June 20th.
So we're really late on this.
Yes.
Yes.
But now we did bring it up, so...
Yeah, and I mean, it's good. I think that I really like that they add more stuff just to clarify, and then people can go there and they can have their comments or their own notes or what they think on the rules, and then they can decide for real what's going to be the rule changing for the next year.
Yeah.
Okay, Ida, should we talk about the European Championship?
Should we first talk about WADA?
Oh, you see, I'm so excited for the European Championship, but sure, you talk about WADA. You know why it's weird to say WADA in English? Because we have the Swedish word for WADA, but that's something else. You know, when you go in water.
In water.
Yeah. When you walk in water, not go in water. Yeah.
But yeah, on June 27th, the PGA announced that WADA will be doing anti-doping, so drug testing at the World Championship. I think they will also do it at the European Disc Golf Festival in Estonia. So the major that's being played before Worlds. The press release or the announcement from the PGA was, it didn't sound like it was a decision that has been driven and made by the PGA, I will say.
But who else would make it? Is it the...
I don't know if it's the Finnish organizations, because I think everyone who listens to this who is European don't really find this very strange at all, because we are pretty used to this. And for example, at the Swedish national championship, people have to be tested after people who place on the podium are tested. Yeah. And it's just,
standard procedure. Yeah.
It's a standard procedure. It's normal. It brings legitimacy to the sport. It shows that we are a serious sport. But I think in the US, where disc golf culture is a little bit different and has kind of different roots, I would say, than what disc golf has here in Europe, it might be a little bit more upsetting to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just funny that they like explicitly posted that this is posted 33 days before the World Championship. It will take 30 days for cannabis to leave your body. Please take note.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not... there are, most, or at least a lot of the states in the US, that is not illegal. So it's, but I think just as any other drug, either if it's like a calming or enhancement, or it just influence you in any way, it really shouldn't be mixed in with professional sports.
No, and I think is because cannabis is illegal in Sweden. Is it in Finland as well?
I think so, but I don't know if it's like. Denmark and Norway have different laws around it. Because I know Sweden is has a very conservative and very strict law. But for example, in Denmark, it's a little bit different. Like, it's not illegal to have a substance in your body, but it's illegal to use and sell and like all the other things.
So if you accidentally get it into your body, it's not illegal.
Well, I think it's. It's not. It's just not to punish people who are. If you consider like the addiction as a disease.
Yeah.
But in Sweden, it's not considered that. It's considered only just a crime. So it's. Yeah. But we don't need to get into drug politics.
Don't we?
But I think it's interesting. I think it's something that is kind of...
It's a bit funny, you know? Yeah.
But it is funny with like the stereotypic like weed smoking disc golfer from the US.
And the way that they present it, it's so like, we're sorry, we have to tell you this. Please note, this is 33 days.
But it's a good step in kind of, if you want to wash that away from the image of disc golf, I think it's...
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing. You know, as you said, here in Sweden, we have it. In Europe in general, it's common to have drug tests in sports. So in a way to bring disc golf even more into the scene of being a professional and serious sport, this is just a benefit for it.
Yes, I agree. Okay, now we can move into the European Championship.
Wow, what a championship. Oh my God, this weekend. It was so many ups and downs with the weather and with the players. Okay, so we were going to get into it, but we had a lot. The scoring was the separations from the start, and the weather from day 3 was horrible.
Okay, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take a few steps back and just say that the European Championship was played in Norway.
Okay, so I'm going to calm down.
So this past weekend, European Championship and European Junior Disc Golf Championship, presented by Latitude 64, was played at... what is it called? Vasset? In Langevåg in Norway. Now I'm going to let you go.
Okay, thank you. So for the win, we had a playoff. It was between Emilie Salonen and Kristin Lett. They ended the final round on -3, went it to a 2-hole playoff, and Evelina Salonen won. And that means, listen to this, that means she is the European champion, she is the US champion, she is the world champion, and she is the Finnish champion. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever... has there even been anyone who's been the reigning champion? I guess Kristen was.
In all categories.
Not Estonian champion, because I don't think she played her championship in 2023 when she won European Championship, US Championship, and World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the European Disc Golf Championship is only an A-tier, it definitely feels like a major, and it feels like one of the bigger tournaments in the year.
Yeah.
And I think especially because everyone travels to it, and it's only every second year, which brings it even more prestige and tension. And
you get to represent your country. It's, a lot of the disc golfer takes a lot of pride in that here in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have your country, like your shirt that you compete in. Everyone has their country, their flag on it. I not to be biased, but I think the Swedish one looks really good.
Yeah, that looks great. And I heard someone from the MPO field said that it was so much fun to represent your country, because then when it was Niklas Antila. So when he and Christian Koksa played at the same card, and someone made a birdie, they were like, "Yay, go Finland!" So something different from it otherwise being such an individual sport. It still is, but you're rooting for your own country to win this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you said, it was very, very exciting. The first day, they had beautiful weather on the course. The course looked amazing with all these little peninsula where the basket is placed, like almost looks on the rocks on the water. Yeah. And it started off looking like Kristen was going to run away with this championship. She played a 6 down. She said she didn't feel great, but she looked great.
She did.
And she had a 5-stroke lead. But then as the tournament went on, she she looked like she described herself. She just looked fatigued. She looked tired. She didn't really look like she wanted to be there on the course. I think it was really a struggle for her, and it has been for a few weeks. I don't really know what she needs to do to get out of this. It's ever since she went to Alle Open. She has just not looked like herself, and she just, because sometimes even if she doesn't have these like amazing rounds, she's still like, oh, I did my best and I really tried, but this player beat me and that's okay.
Yeah.
But now it's just, I don't know if she should just push through or she needs like a break.
Yeah, it feels like a combination of things, the toe being really blue and yellow and purple and big, and probably hurts a lot. And I think, was it at Alle Open where she had a cold and, being still continuing to travel upon that. It feels like a mixture of things. Mm-hmm. We will have a new chance this upcoming weekend, but first, obviously, we're going to stay a bit more on the European Championship. So you said the first round, Kristin took a 5-stroke lead, but in the second round, we had Evelina Salonen gaining 2 on Kristin. So Kristin Lett had a 3-stroke lead going to the third round, and Silva Saarinen played a really good second round. She played -5 and went up on the lead card in tied third.
But
place.
Evelina Salonen did something else on the second round. What did she do, Elin?
She did an albatrace. She aced the most scenic hole. It was, that was so awesome to watch. She is, we know she's a good thrower. I mean, she aced her last tournament as well. But this hole is so gnawing. Can you say, is that a word? It's so scary.
Jarring.
What did I say? Gnawing. Yeah, okay, jarring. It's so scary.
I understood what you meant, so.
Thank you. Swedes, But you have to throw. It's a 124-meter hole over the water, and the basket is placed on a hill surrounded by water around it. So it's really scary. And that disc it was in the whole way. It was such a good throw.
Yeah, it was really a beautiful shot.
Is it her and Double G that has made an albatrace?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both great throwers of the disc. So
both smashers.
Mm-hmm.
But then sorry?
Yeah. I think we both wanted to move on to round 3. That was crazy because, and not maybe in the good way necessarily, but there were crazy winds because it was a storm hitting the coast of Norway. And that round was just the start of the storm. And it was just gusts of wind all the time. I mean, the women would throw their most overstable disc and it just got pounded up or down or flipped, or I don't know. It was just, it didn't even feel like disc golf.
No, and it felt a bit scary too. You know, they play around trees and stuff. I mean, the locals said that, you know, we have these kind of winds all the time. The trees that are here, they're going to stay here. So, but still, I mean, there were really strong winds, and we can see it on the scores as well. I mean, Silva Saarinen played a +16.
Yeah, I think that's probably her weak point, because she throws a lot of understable discs, and she just could not fight the wind at all. It was very difficult for her. And I mean, you could see someone like Evelina had much greater success because she can throw those overstable discs.
Yeah. And I mean, here Silva and Evelina and Kristin really separated themselves going into the final round. Evelina was on -1 and Kristin was 2 under par. And then we had Hannah in third place on +12. So there was a separation going into the final round, and also they talked about the whole DGN broadcast. They talked about maybe we won't play the final round because we don't know how the wind, if it's gonna pick up, how's the rain if it's gonna, you know, there were flooding warnings. Did you say that? Yeah,
flood warnings. Yeah,
flood warnings. Yeah, because of the amount of rain that was about to come, and so we didn't know anything. And also we saw it in Kristin's game because she laid up a putt on hole 18 because she didn't know if that was for the win or if they were going to play the last day.
Yeah.
But they did.
They did. Eventually, it took some time. They kept moving the tee time forward, and then eventually it was a shotgun start where they cut even more players. So there was a cut originally from round 3 to 4, and then they decided to cut 4 more players.
Yeah.
Who weren't allowed to play, which I know was a little upsetting, at least to the players who missed the opportunity to play for cash. But for the ones that were above the cash line, the top 14, they played the final round all at once with the lead card starting on hole 1.
Yeah, so we had MPO, FPO, and the junior divisions all at once on the course.
Yes. And I mean, there's a lot of things to say about this. We are super excited to see 2 of our Swedes, Matilda Ringbom and Jenny Larsson, both making the cash line. Unfortunately, Amanda Lennartsson was right under the cash line. But we are very proud of all 3 of them. They all played great and fought really well in these strange and difficult conditions.
Yeah, but it must have been frustrating as well, especially for Amanda, you know, waiting on having a new tee time. It was getting... Sorry, I saw something and my mind went somewhere else. I looked outside. Sorry. And the time just kept being pushed forward. So, and then getting the to receive that you will not be playing today. I think I'm sure she handled it like a champ, but it must have been really hard to get that final decision.
Yeah. But as we mentioned just before, there was also a junior championship being played at the same time as the Pro European Championship. And in that one, we had the local, I mean, not local, but at least national Norwegian champion taking it down. Emilie Nesse won at +8 and really... I mean, she just ran away with it in the last round, and she won over Ida Lehtomäki on with 10 strokes. And then we had our Swede friend of the pod, Julia Foss, on third place.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about the junior tournament with Ida, Emilie, and Nesse, who is joining the podcast in just a moment. So please bear with us as we hear some word from our sponsor.
From top competition to the new players. From supporting women to funding new courses. PDGA Europe is much more than competition. Visit pdga.com/join and grow the sport. PDGA Europe.
Hi, Ida, and welcome to the podcast. Ida, Emilie, Nesse, the European Junior Disc Golf Championship winner of 2025. Hi, how are you, Ida?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Great, we're doing good. Just wanted to correct it, or maybe ask you about your name. So it's is it always Ida Emilie, or is it what do you go by?
Just Ida.
Ida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then it's easy for me.
Yeah.
And even easier for your lead, or maybe confusing. I don't know.
So, Ida, we of course want to get into the tournament of this weekend. But first, if there might be someone out there that doesn't know you that much yet, can you tell us how you found disc golf?
Yeah. I found disc golf in, I think it's 2020. And it was my dad who asked me to join him for a tournament, and me and my brother. So we went out to play, and it was super fun, and I got super into it and started practicing, and loved it.
That's awesome. So 2020 you said, and we can see that you have been a PDGA member since 2021. So you started competing almost right away.
Yeah, I did. I started in 2020 with my first tournament. I think I played one tournament in the ending of 2020 also, but that wasn't PDGA sanctionized. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you? You said you liked it right away. So was it? Did it come natural to you, the how to play?
Yeah, it kind of did, and I was like playing weekly tournaments at my home course, and people were so amazed by how far I could throw at the time and how much control I had. So it just gave me more confidence to continue playing and improving my game. And so far, so good.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
Were there other women or even young girls playing in your area at that time?
No, not that I remember. It was like, I think there was this one lady that was from my town. So we played together sometimes, but just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports before disc golf?
Yeah, I played football for 10 years, and then I just quit last year, I think.
Okay, so you've been doing that alongside with disc golf since last year? Okay. And now you wanted to put more time into disc golf, or?
Yeah, I did. I also played one football match and fell and broke my collarbone. So after that, I kind of just figured that I would continue playing disc golf instead of playing football.
Did that influence your play in any way, like your disc golf game, having a broken collarbone? I mean, I can imagine that being pretty painful.
Yeah, I was kind of lucky that it was on the left side and not on the right side, so it was okay. It didn't like affect my play or anything, but I had to take 2 months off to do literally anything. And then it was like in May, so I had to cancel the Norwegian championship and everything, so that was quite sad. But I made a comeback at PCS in 2023, So I don't know if a broken collarbone like helped me or what it did, but
Yeah, maybe it took the pressure off and you could like play more relaxed because you didn't expect yourself to play as well.
Yeah, maybe.
But isn't that funny how you, as a disc golfer, you always think about, oh, which side is it? Is it my dominant side or is it my the other side? Yeah.
That was like the first thing that I thought when I was laying at the football field, and I was like, oh no. And I was like, okay, but it's my left side, so it's fine.
Yeah, but so, I mean, your development has been really quick because we haven't mentioned that, but you're also very young as the winner of the Junior European Championship. You're 17, right?
Yeah, 17.
Yes. So, I mean, your development has been super quick. And last year you won the RPM Open. And this year you had some great success. You came 4th at Konapiste, 6th at Ale, and now this win. Like, what is the secret? What do you think is the key to this development and your success?
I think it's really helping that I'm young, first of all, and I also go to sports school, so I can practice disc golf in school. So I have used a lot of time practicing this off season, and I can finally see that it's paying off. I've worked especially hard on my putting, and I can feel it now that I'm much more confident now than I've ever been.
So
but
how does
sports
that?
School,
how does that work?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how to explain it in English really, but it's like top athletes in my city. We go to the school, and then it's kind of individual because I have a little sport that not many people know of. So I get to like make my own schedules of practice and do whatever I want to do.
So do you have a coach that helps you during that practice?
No, not really, but I have my teachers that's super into sports and everything that's like helping me to see how I can practice or train to get stronger and everything, and which muscles I need to practice and everything. So I'm learning more about my body and understanding what I need to do to, reach my goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really
and then
training.
I also have, and then I also have this one teacher that plays disc golf, and we're friends and everything, and he's like helping me with the little knowledge that he has to improve my game. So yeah, it's kind of nice to have a teacher that knows disc golf and can help me.
Yeah, especially when you can put time into it, during the off season, and that must be really great. Sounds good also to be able to practice putting. But we could see from the stats from this tournament, we're going to go into it even more, but just now talking about it, you seem to have a strong all-round game. Do you feel like there's something in your game that you can depend on more than other things?
Right now I'm mostly depending on my backhand. So I'm looking forward to improving my forehand so I can be more confident when throwing forehands and be more consistent with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to stay a little bit on the school side because we talked to Julia Foss previously, and she has talked a lot about her practice regime and also with her dad and kind of how they've been practicing to prevent injury. Is that something that you can also get some help from the school coaches?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some classes that we learn everything about the body and how everything works and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you can build some muscles not to be able, not to get injured or But do you also get some mental training? It sounds like you get it from a lot of different teachers.
Yeah, we do. We have this class that we learn like everything within sports, the mentality side to prevent injuries and different types of sports. So we learn like everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that sounds
That must
great.
be really great.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
the future of disc golf.
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember I was going to dance school after I went to high school, and I had to dance the things I didn't want to, but I could see the benefit from it, being an all-round athlete and not just the one thing that I wanted to do all the time. So yeah, that's great to have the broad spectra of it all.
Yeah.
So, Ida, you took a breath. Oh, sorry. You both, Ida. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I wanted to move into the championship and hear more about just how do you feel now after a couple of days? Like the victory has maybe sunken in a little bit. Do you like realize what you've done?
It still kind of feels unreal, really. I don't know how to put words on it, but I'm super proud of myself. And it's super refreshing, I guess, to see all the work that I've put into disc golf paying off. And it's also super amazing to represent Norway in Norway, and to stand on the top of the podium is just a big bonus.
Yeah, because we could see that you were, I mean, from, we're sorry that we couldn't see the thing on, live broadcasting, or even, I don't know if, was there anyone there filming for it to be post-production?
No, we had the Bogey Boys, it's a YouTube channel. They filmed like some highlights of the FJ18.
Okay.
I think round 3 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So
then we'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, but we could see that you were trailing behind the leader all 3 rounds going into the final round. And then you played an awesome round, one under par in that condition. Can you take us through the whole day, being, you have to wait for your tee time and not knowing if you're going to play the last round? What was that like? What was happening?
Yeah, that was a super weird day, because the day before I saw that I was supposed to start playing at 10:30, I think. So I woke up at like 8:30 or something, went down to eat breakfast, and then finally realized that I wasn't being able to play before like 12:30 or something. Mm-hmm. And then it got postponed again to shotgun start at 3. So I had to wait like 6 hours from when I woke up to start playing. So that was super weird. And then when I came to the course, started warming up, and the weather was actually okay. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. I was super demotivated to play because of the bad weather. So I just wanted to really get it over with. But we started on hole 15, before the hardest stretch on the course. So it was kind of nice to like being finished with that and then have the rest of the course left to play. And then I started off with, I think it was bogey, and a birdie on 17, which was, unreal, really, in that wind.
Yeah.
And a bogey on 18. So I guess it's not the worst start during the conditions that we had. But I felt like I was throwing the discs good and putting okay and playing safe. And then when we came to hole 1, I just focused on playing safe, and I did, and I took the par while the others struggled. And I was like, okay, if I can just continue to play it safe, hit my lines, then everything's going to be okay. And that's exactly what happened. I just hit my lines, read the wind, And then, I guess it ended up in a pretty good round.
Yeah, that was awesome. But how was the, on the card, how was the mood? Could you, going through that whole day, everyone has been waiting, and probably everyone, just as you, wanted to just get it over with, and then getting out there. Was it relaxed? Everyone, all divisions were on the course.
It was kind of strange, really, because it felt like, a shotgun start. You felt like you played a weekly's tournament or something with everyone on the course. So I was kind of chill, really, and the mood on the group was pretty all right, I think. But some of the players were stressed and nervous, of course, and that was pretty, you could see it on them. But me and Julia, we were just talking and joking and fooling around. So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
So, because you, like you said before, you won on Sula previously. Do you think that your experience on that course, particularly, and playing in different conditions, maybe, that was a big advantage for you?
Yeah, for sure. I played Sula last year in pretty wild conditions too. So I have pretty good experience with that course and how it's playing in bad weather and hard conditions. So I think that was an advantage, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, you seem just, oops, sorry, I'm hitting my mic. You just seemed very stable over all of the rounds. And like Yulene mentioned, that looking at your stats, you were the number one, both gain from tee to green, but also in your putting was just top. So it just seemed like overall your game was just adapted more to the conditions than for the other players.
Yeah, I think it was. And I think my decision making was also pretty good. I had, I think it was hole 9 or 8 that I had a par putt from 8 meters with a drop off and OB behind the basket. And I was just laying up because there was no point of me running that. Yeah.
And then you went on and took 3 birdies. So
yeah, exactly.
Good decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's just better to make those decisions and lower your stress levels and just feel like you're choosing the stroke rather than it being forced on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So last year you played the Junior Worlds, and you placed second, and then you went pro in your PDGA profile. Was that a conscious decision to make that and not being able to play the Worlds again in junior division?
Yeah, it was. Me and my dad were kind of discussing whether or not I should go pro the last season. But I wanted to get the experience of playing Junior Worlds before I went pro. So that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you played really well, so yeah.
Yeah, nice. I was the best rated player in the tournament, but I lost on the last 9 holes, so that was a bit sad, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, it's hard. I can imagine. Do you look that up usually, how you're placed in the field before going into a tournament?
No, not at every tournament, no. But especially not on the Pro Tour. Then I'm just focusing on playing my game and placing above my own rating, really.
Yeah. And during the rounds, are you watching scores? Are you keeping up with scores?
Not usually, no. But sometimes. So I checked scores the last round at the European Championships.
Yeah, I was going to ask that if you were aware of the situation, what was happening, because there was a lot of moving up and down.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember at what hole I started to check scores, but when I started checking scores, I had 5 strokes lead, I think. So then I was like, okay, I got this. Just play it
Wow.
safe.
Yeah.
Take the pars, take the bogeys, take the birdies. It's fine.
It sounds like a nice and quite scary feeling to know that, okay, I got this, and see
Yeah.
how many holes did you have left to play, you said?
I know.
You don't know? No.
But it wasn't like I've got this, like I got the win already. It wasn't like that.
No.
It was like, okay, just focus. You got this. Focus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
And we saw that your dad was on the bag as your caddy. Can you talk a little bit about what that means to you? And is he always on your bag?
Yeah, my dad is always there for me. He is like, I don't know what I would have done without him, because he's driving me to all these tournaments, or flying by plane with me, fixing housing and hotels and everything. And that he's out on the bag with me, it's like a safe space. You know, I can go to him, talk to him if I'm stressed or nervous, or if I don't know what to do or anything. So it's super good and nice and comforting that he's there for me, and he's always there.
Yeah, that sounds like a great support system to have, and just a really good advantage to just, helping with all the practical details.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm super lucky to have him in my life.
And he's a disc golfer too. Is that what you said before? Yeah. So he must be pretty excited to have a daughter who is as good as you are.
Yeah, I think he really enjoys it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said to me a couple of times that it's unreal that his daughter is like playing on the lead card with Kristen Latt, for example, like I did 2 years ago here at PCS.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really kind of your breakout tournament where everyone got their eyes up or open for you and got to know your name, and you played really, really well. Do you, can you think of that tournament as things that you learned, like just the experience that you can bring with you even at this moment?
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was my first time on the lead card ever, and the first time playing with Kristen, Emilie, and Nesse. So I was pretty nervous, but at the same time, I'm pretty good with keeping a good mentality and to keep my cool while playing. So I think that helped me a lot to stay calm, execute my shots. Yeah, so I don't know.
I remember that tournament. It was,
I don't remember you looking nervous at all. I remember everyone just being very impressed of how cool you were. And yeah.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
So, now you won the junior championship, and next time you'll be over 18, so we won't qualify anymore. But what is, of course, the Open European Championship, but more than that, what is next for you?
I'm playing the full European Pro Tour this season, so I have a tournament every weekend, I think, from now on. Mm-hmm. So pretty tight schedule. And I'm also playing.
You're playing the World Championship.
Pro Worlds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, I am. So I'm excited to see if I can do well on the courses that we're playing there. I've played one of the courses before, and it was super hard.
Oh, which one? Do you remember?
The Monster.
Mm-hmm. Monster.
Yeah. We were watching the European... What was it called? European Open? No. Yeah. 3 years ago. And then we wanted to play course, and then we went to Tampere to play the
That's
monster.
nice.
Yeah, but that's also but that's also 3 years ago. So my game has improved a lot since then. So I'm excited to see if I can tackle the course this time.
I'm sure it's going to be very exciting for you to get there and just be like, this isn't that hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope it's that way.
I can throw 30 meters longer now.
Yeah.
So this weekend you're going to PCS?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that close to where
do you have a
were?
favorite of the Norwegian courses and the tournaments that are being played here? So the European Championship, and then you have PCS and Krokol.
Yeah. I mean, Øverås, the course at PCS is my favorite course in the world so far. So I'm really excited to be out here. And no, it's not that far from Vasset, where we play the European Championship. I think it's an hour drive or something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm excited to play here. And I also haven't been playing Krokol in a tournament before, like a big tournament. So I don't know what that's like, but I'm super looking forward to it next week. And hopefully it's as fun as everyone says it is.
We're going to be there, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, then it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, we are super excited for that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, we are. We've been hyped all year for it, so.
That's good. Glad to hear this.
But, so you're playing the European big tournaments this year. Do you have any plans of going to the US later, or will you just kind of see where it goes?
I did qualify for Throw Pink in October, so we're trying to make it work, but I'm not sure if I'm going yet.
Okay.
Is it school? Because I don't know how the rules are in Norway, but I know in Sweden can be quite hard to get out of school.
Yeah, no, because I'm going to sports school, it's like I get free whenever I want because of a tournament.
Okay.
So that's not a problem.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
But so how many years in school do you have left?
2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
Yeah.
So at least 2 years before we can see you like full time on tour.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Maybe next year, maybe the year after.
Okay.
We'll
Interesting.
So is that something that's like a possibility to like blend your school with touring? Is that something that the school is open to?
Yeah. The worst case is that I need to take another year to like take up the classes that I've missed out on or something.
Okay.
So I can take as much time off as I need to.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I mean, that sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
We always, I mean, we would love to have more Europeans on the American side of the tour. You're always our favorites. It's like, doesn't matter if there's a US and a European on the other side.
Yeah.
We'll always root for you guys. So yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed that you make it.
Yeah,
yes.
Me too.
And also it will be a lot of fun to just keep on watching you. Because I mean, you started 2020 and now it's 2025. That wasn't that long ago and you're still very young. So let's start with following you this year and see on the European swing. It's nice now, the second part of the European swing, that the Americans are coming over as well to broaden the field, make it bigger. Yeah.
I'm super excited to play the European swing. And the plan for the next years is to play as much as possible in Europe and then maybe something in the States. It depends on what comes next year. You know, I have my sponsorships ending this season. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens next year. I'm excited to find out.
You have a travel buddy with you, Anniken, I can imagine, if you're going.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. that's nice to have someone you know when you're going over to the States.
Absolutely. It is.
Yeah, I think that's really, that's really nice to have like, I know you're friends, but they are also a little bit older. So I'm like to have role models such as Anniken or Lykke, or at least have other Norwegians who are touring and kind of doing the thing that you want to do, where you can ask questions and see how they're doing things.
Yeah. I think I've messaged Anniken like 1,000 times. So things that I need to find out, or questions about, many things about the PDGA and stuff. So yeah, Anniken is my role model. Yeah.
Well, I'm
sure she's happy to help.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. And hopefully someone, helped her before that. So, and just pay it forward. And then there will be a new young Norwegian girl who's going to ask you a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question. I imagine, being for the first years being new in the sport, you had someone you really looked up to. Sounds like Anniken, but maybe someone else. Has that changed as you've played more yourself? Do you have someone you look up to in the sport?
Yeah, when I started playing, I was really looking up to Paige Pierce, actually. I had like the Paige Pierce bag and her signature discs and everything. And then, I don't know, then Anniken came into the picture, and she was, the best in Norway, I think. And I don't know, she was just super nice, and I met her in person, and she was so kind and everything. And she's also a pretty good disc golfer, so.
Yeah.
That's nice.
She is an excellent disc golfer and very lovable. So it's,
for sure. Yeah.
Nothing strange in that at all.
No.
But it's fun because I'm sure you know that Paige Pierce is an idol of Julia Foss as well.
Oh, she is.
She really likes Paige. So I find that fun that both of you like gravitated towards Paige in the beginning, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to ask Julia.
I actually met.
If she changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually met Paige for the first time in 2023 at PCS here, when she fell and broke, I don't know, her foot or something. So she was in so much pain, and still made time to sign my discs and have a talk with me, and she was super, super nice.
Yeah. Well, all disc golfers are good people.
Yeah, they are. Well, most of them. There are some exceptions, but
we won't mention
most
names.
of them are. No.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ida, I have to say I'm really impressed with your weekend and winning the title, and in the fashion that you did. Coming out the final round and just being able to pull that together with all the things going on around you. And really looking forward to follow you this season. And we're going to watch live in Krokol. And Paige is going to be there, and Anniken is going to be there. So it's going to be a great event. And before we are going to let you go, do you want to say something to someone?
I don't know.
No, we haven't prepared you for that. So no. Sorry, put you on the spot.
I think what Jolene is referring to is if you want to shout out any sponsors or.
That I can do that. To Innova, Weird Disc Golf, Seeger Bags, DigiPut, and Stack. Thank you all for believing in me, and keeping my dreams in reach.
Yes. And if anyone who listens wants to support you, can they buy a disc or support you in any way?
Yeah, I'm actually getting new signature discs soon. So just follow me on Instagram, and I will share on Instagram.
Okay.
That's nice. And also, as you said, that your sponsorships are up for grabs next season. If anyone's listening, hurry up.
Hurry up!
Yes. Okay, so thank you so much for coming to the pod.
Thank you for having me.
Talk birdie to me.
Thank you so much to Ida, Emilie, and Nesse for joining Talk Birdie to Me. I mean, I think it was really interesting to hear her talk about the school and how she can focus all of her time on disc golf. And even though the teachers and coaches aren't disc golfers, I mean, one was, but like the school isn't a disc golf school, even that they can help her with a lot of the critical things like preventing injury and training the body to not get in a lot of the injuries that you get in disc golf. And then also with the mental side, I think those are really critical things that are going to be becoming more and more common and prevalent in disc golf.
Yeah, and I really like the concept of it not being a disc golf school, just that every athlete that goes there can just focus on their own sports and they do stuff together that can bring benefit to the sport that they're doing. I think that's good for being an all-round athlete.
Yeah, I mean, as she was talking about it, I guess we do have that similar in Sweden.
Yes. But it's mostly
well.
but it's focused mostly on some kind of sport. So we have with
Yes.
football and with hockey and yeah.
But there are also disc golf gymnasium
One
in Sweden.
in Sweden, yes. So for the youngsters out there that want to take the next step, as Ida, Nesse, come to Sweden and go to the disc golf gymnasium.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be it for today's episode. Next time that we are in your ears with the Talk About It To Me with the PGA Europe Women collaboration will be
In Norway.
in Norway. Yes, at Krokol.
Yes. If it hasn't become evident, we are very, very happy about going to Norway.
We bring it up as often as we can so people will
Yes.
know. Yeah.
Also remind each other as often as we
We
can.
are going there, okay? Bring all your rain clothes. Nothing is going to bring us down. We're coming.
Yes. With that, we want to say thank you so much to PGA Europe Women for supporting this podcast. And thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you in the next one.
Catch you later.